Hello children, today we are going to do force and laws of motion part 1. Now the force and laws of motion, before we start actually with the chapter, there are few terms which you need to know to understand the laws of motion given by Newton. So the first term which you need to know is inertia. It is the natural tendency of an object to resist a change in its state of rest or of uniform motion. So if an object is at rest, it will remain at rest. If object is moving with a straight line with the same speed, it will continue to do that same thing unless on its own it will not change its state of motion. In other words, you can say that the tendency of undisturbed object, remember undisturbed, if you're not applying any force, then the object will try to stay at rest or keep moving with the same velocity is called inertia. This way the first law of motion is also known as law of inertia. Okay, now here you see there is a car which hits the wall. Now if the car was moving, the person was also moving with the car, and the moment car hits the wall, car stops, but the person still wants to move in the forward direction, so he trips off the car because he was not wearing seat belt. Okay, now when moving a bus halts, when moving bus halts, so your legs will also, you're moving, bus is moving, you're moving. When it comes to halt, your legs, on applying brake, your legs comes to rest with the bus, but upper body still wants to continue. So because upper body still wants to continue, you may fall down in the forward direction. And when a stationary bus starts, so when the bus starts, your legs in contact with the bus will also start to move in forward direction, but your upper body still wants to stay here only. Your lower body is moving forward, so we get a backward jerk. So if you're not holding any support, then you may fall back. Then if there is a fruit tree, apple tree, mango tree, any kind of fruit tree, and you give a jerk to the branch, the fruit may want to stay at rest, and it will not try to move because of inertia, but the branch will move because we are shaking it, and the fruit may fall down. Then see again the example of a seat belt. Here the person is driving, and if a driving person has to apply brake suddenly many a times, so if suddenly brake is applied, the lower part along with the seat will come to rest, but the upper part will still want to go forward, and we may hit the steering or the dashboard of the car. So to protect it, we need to wear a seat belt. Then this is an example of a glass and a coin and a card. So if that's a playing card, so it's very smooth, so friction can be negligible. So if you give a flick to the card, the coin will fall down because of inertia into the glass. But if it depends what kind of a coin you are taking, what kind of a playing card you are taking, and how much force you are applying by applying a flick, giving a flick, because if you take a very light coin, it will fly off with the card only. So you need to take a little heavy coin, because more is the mass. So from here you will understand more is the mass, more is the inertia. More difficult it is for us to change the state of motion. If truck is standing and you give it a push, it is very difficult for us to make that truck move. But if a cycle is standing, we can push and move the cycle. Now this example is of a carom. All of you must have played carom. So in the starting of the game, we stack all the coins one over the other and hit with a striker. So if you give a sufficient hit with the striker, what happens, the lowermost the coin, and if the board is really powdered well, friction is very less, then the lowermost coin will move along with the striker, and all the coins on the stack will fall at the same place because of their inertia. Now see, there is a resistance offered by an object to change its state of motion. If it is at rest, it tends to remain at rest, and if it is moving, it tends to keep moving. This property of object is called inertia, and the mass of an object is a measure of its inertia. So more is the mass, more will be inertia. Now this statement is is wrong. The tennis ball has more inertia. This is wrong, because tennis ball, if you have seen a tennis ball and a cricket ball is a leather ball. So cricket ball will have more mass, and more mass means more inertia. So cricket ball will definitely have more inertia. Then if you take an example of a truck and a car, truck will have more inertia because its mass is more. There can be many examples. Next topic which you need to know is force. Now this is a very common topic, you have done it before also. Force is a push or a pull upon an object resulting from the object interaction with another object. So there needs to be one object or one force which is applied, another object on which force is applied. So here is an example. The finger is the object which is applying force, and the truck is the object on which force is applied. Force, motion, push, pull, anything can be force, kick, hitting. So here the person is pushing a lawn mower, and it is moving, so the speed of the mower can be changed by applying force. Now here the person is pulling the box and then shifting it. So by pulling also you can change the position of the object. Rest object can be moved, moving object can be brought to rest. Okay, now here is an example where a cart is pulled by a person, by a child, and he is pushing the cart and changing the speed, and then by pulling you can pull out the drawer out, so you can induce motion. Then there is a hockey example of hockey. So if the ball is at rest and you hit it with a hockey stick, it will move. If already ball is moving and you hit it with a hockey stick, its speed may change, its direction may change. So apart from changing speed, direction, state of motion of object, there is also another thing which force can do, which is the change in the shape of the object. So you see there on top there is a spring on which no force is acting, and just below it, if you are pulling a string from both the side spring, it will extend, its length will change, the shape will change. Then the next example is of a ball or a balloon. If you press the balloon from both the sides, its shape will change. If you take a dough, dough from which chapati is made, and you push from both the sides, the shape of the dough will change, the shape of the clay will change. The force can do three things basically. It can change speed of the object, it can change direction of the object, and it can change shape of the object. Okay, now force, it is a vector quantity. It's a physical quantity which is a vector quantity, so it will have magnitude as well as direction. So the length of the vector, you see the blue color vector, that will give the magnitude, and the arrow is showing the direction of the vector. Okay, and its unit is Newton, which can also be written as kg meter per second square, and Newton is represented by capital N. Now if many forces are acting at one place, then the concept of balanced and unbalanced force comes. So balanced force, if many number of forces are acting on a body and that does not move or does not change the state of motion, the forces are called balanced. That means if an object is rest and many forces are acting and still object is rest, then the forces are called balanced. Or in case if the object is moving with a constant speed in one direction, many forces are acting on it and still the object continues to move in the same direction with same speed, that means balanced forces are acting. Why? Because there is no effect, no net effect on the object because of this balanced force. Okay, balanced force means the net force, they cancel each out's effect and the net force becomes zero. So that is why we don't see any change in the state of motion of the object when balanced force is acting on it. You see here in this example, a log is tied to two elephants and both are pulling in the opposite direction, one with 200 Newton in forward direction, another with 200 Newton in backward direction. So these two forces, they cancel out each other's effect and net force is zero. So we say balanced force is acting on the log. Then unbalanced force, if a resultant of forces acting on a body is non-zero, okay, and the state of rest or motion of the body changes. That means if object is rest, unbalanced force is acting, it will move. If object is moving, unbalanced force is acting, it will stop, or its speed may change, direction may change. When the forces acting on the body are said to be unbalanced. So your net force is, when net force is not zero, then the forces are called unbalanced forces. Now here if these number of people are pulling this side and these are pulling that side, if they are applying unequal force, one team will win, another will lose. Now you see in this example, these two children are applying force in this direction, but then there is another arrow in the opposite direction. This is because of frictional force, which is between the surface of the box and the floor. Now the length of these two arrows is equal and they are in opposite direction, so the net force here will be zero. So we can say balanced force is acting here and the object will not move. Now in the second case, you see they increase, these two children are pushing harder, so the length of the arrow increased, but here friction also increased, this arrow also increased, so they both are equal and opposite, net force will be zero, the object will still not move. Now you see when the force applied by children is increased, friction also increases itself because it is self-adjusting. But remember, although it is self-adjusting, it is limiting, so it can adjust itself to a certain limit, after that it cannot. So see in the third diagram, these children applied even greater force. The arrow now, this arrow is greater than the above arrow, okay, more greater force, but the friction is limiting, it cannot increase itself after this limit. So now what, these two arrows are in opposite direction and are unequal, so when we will subtract it, there will be net force in this direction and the object will move because of this net force in this direction, okay, because this is an example of unbalanced force. Now why friction comes into play? Now whenever there are two objects in contact, their surface is not completely smooth, there will be irregularities, and because of irregularities they interlock, the two surfaces interlock between each other, and that is the reason for friction, which opposes the motion of the object. Next point is momentum. and it is the quantity of motion of a moving body measured as a product of its mass and velocity. So momentum symbol is p. P will be equal to m into v. Okay, so its unit will be kg meter per second, and it is a vector quantity. Momentum is a vector quantity, so it will have direction. So its direction is same as that of the velocity. Okay, momentum has both direction and magnitude. Its direction is same as that of velocity, and its unit is kg meter per second. Thank you, children.